Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free.
Hey everyone, I'm Calvin with Southern Country Living, and today I want to give you a good update on Marie and how she's doing. And we've had several people that has asked what happened to Marie and why she ended up in the hospital. And I've been leaving some community posts, but in those posts I hadn't been really giving good updates like I probably should have. And so some of those questions never did get answered good. So basically what happened the last weekend, Marie was starting to get feeling bad and she was dehydrated. And we noticed her blood pressure was down just a little bit. And that's pretty normal for Marie because she does that quite often. And we're used to it and we know how to deal with it. We usually take care of it without any problems. But on Sunday night, right before we started to go to bed, when I checked her blood pressure, it was lower than it ever gets. So I gave her some extra pickle juice because that usually helps bring it up real quick. So next morning we got up and it was extremely low again. So we decided we'd go ahead and go on to the emergency room early on Monday morning. And we were thinking we'd go to the emergency room and they'd probably give her an IV or maybe two and get her back feeling good and she'd get to come home on Monday night. But that's not how it worked out. So when we got there, of course, the doctors asked a lot of questions and we explained everything that was going on to her, the doctor, and we explained to him that she was having some problems that's related to the surgery that she had had for her cancer back in 2015. And so he decided that he wanted to do a CAT scan and look at her abdomen and see if there's anything going on there. So it's a good thing he did because it turned out they found two problems when they did the CAT scan. And the main problem they found was she had an abscess in her abdomen area. And that abscess was causing a lot of fluid buildup. So first thing they did was they scheduled a procedure to go in there and put a drainage tube in there to drain all that fluid off of her abdomen. The other problem they discovered was that she had a blockage in her artery, that she had a blockage in her aorta artery, the one that feeds both of her legs. And so they said that she needed to do a follow-up on that. So we ended up staying in the hospital she was there for a total of 8 days. And so she is home now. And so as far as her health right now today, she is doing good under the circumstances for everything that she's having to deal with right now. Now, she does have a lot of problems that she does have to deal with. And so to list them off, the first thing she's dealing with still is that abscess, because she still has the abscess and it is still draining and she still has the drainage tube. She is being treated with an antibiotic that's supposed to help clear the abscess up. Now, if for some reason the antibiotic, if it don't clear the abscess up with the drainage tube and everything working together, then the next step is they would have to do a surgery. And the doctor said he does not want to do that surgery unless it's an absolute have to. Due to several factors, Marie's already had surgery in that area before, and plus her age, you don't want to do that type of surgery unless you absolutely have to. The drainage through the tube, it's still a pretty good bit coming out. It's not as bad as it was when it was in the hospital, but it is still drainage coming out. And they have her scheduled to go back about 10 days from now. And they're going to do another CT scan and see if they can tell if it's shrunk any, if it's healed up any, or what's going on with that. So the main problem she's dealing with then from that abscess in the abdominal area, she has to deal with that drainage tube. and she's having a little bit of mild fever sometimes. It's not a constant, but just occasionally she'll have a little bit of a fever. I think it gets up to about 99 as high as it's got. But the nurses noticed that when she's in the hospital, and they told me to just be sure and continue to give her Tylenol to take care of that. Another problem that she has is sometimes she'll be nausea. And like today, she's went all day long with no nausea at all. And about 30 minutes ago, all of a sudden it hit her. And it lasted for 10 or 15 minutes, and then she was better. So that nausea is a problem for her. She's also very weak and very tired. And she told me to be sure and tell everyone that she would love to be on here doing this update, but she's just too tired and don't feel like getting dressed up and cleaned up and sitting in front of the camera. And I totally understand that. I wouldn't even ask her to do it, but that's what she said. She wanted y'all to know that she's just too tired and don't feel like getting dressed up to be in front of the camera. Now, we'll be trying to do the Sunday chat sometime on Saturday. And if she don't feel like it, then I'll do it by myself. But if she feels like it, we're going to set up in 2 of our chairs and where she can just sit there and do it, and all she'll have to do is sit and talk. Okay, the second problem that I mentioned about her having a small blockage in her aorta artery, she did go to the doctor yesterday for that. And when the doctor, they did a test on her called a blood flow test. And he said that her blood flow is at approximately 75%, maybe just a little bit more right now. And said due to her age, he asked her, how does she function? And she said, well, normally I can walk and do real good, but sometimes when her sciatic nerve or her hip gets to bothering her, she said, I can't walk but just a few minutes. But she said, when I'm feeling good, I can walk 45 minutes or so without any trouble. And he said, well, if you can walk just on a regular basis without any problems, he said, then we're not going to do anything about that blockage in your artery other than just treat it with medicines. So he told her how he wanted to treat it and what to do. And he scheduled her to come back in 1 year. They'll do that test again. And he said they'll keep a monitor on it, make sure that it's not getting any worse. But he said the surgery is too hard to do a surgery on her at this age for that. Okay, her arm, y'all know that she fell and broke her arm. I believe she broke it on October the 4th, which has been just a little over 2 months ago. And she was going to hand therapy to get her hand working better. And the Monday that we went to the emergency room, we were supposed to be going to hand therapy that morning. And so I ended up having to call and tell them she wasn't going to make it that day. But thankfully, she's got a lot better use of her right hand, and she's using it quite a bit now. And so we did reschedule. We'll be seeing the hand doctor, I think one day next week. We'll see him, and he'll probably do an x-ray on it. And I'm sure he'll want to get her back on the physical therapy for her arm. And that'll be fine. It's just that right now with that drainage tube coming out over here on her side, it's difficult for her to go off. And she says she'd rather just stay home and don't go anywhere unless she has to go to a doctor's visit. So for right now, that's our schedule. That's how we're doing. One other thing that I don't think I mentioned in any of the community posts, but they told her about 2 days before she got out of the hospital that she was just starting to develop pneumonia in her lungs. So they gave her one of those things that you breathe in a lot, and she did it. She used it quite a bit. And they said that would help keep it broke up. They didn't want it to get any worse. And they're also giving her an antibiotic that's treating it so that it won't get any worse. So on the pneumonia, she's not coughing or anything. I think that part has been taken care of, but she did have to deal with that also while she was in the hospital. Okay, so for right now, she is home. She's eating good. She has a pretty good appetite. There's a couple of times I'll take her some food and she'll say, I just don't feel like eating much, but she'd eat about maybe half of it. But for the most part, she is eating good and enjoying her food. She is taking her medicines on time like she's supposed to. And then the most important thing is she is resting, getting good rest. She is getting up about at least once every hour. She'll get up and walk through the house from back there in the den where she's at. She'll come all the way to the kitchen and then go back. And that's just to give her a little exercise so she's not just standing still all the time. Oh, excuse me. So she's not just sitting still all the time. Okay. And I'm trying to read my notes here because I want to be sure and tell you everything that I intended to tell you. And I think I mentioned this toward the first, but we had quite a few people that kept asking in the comments, what happened to Marie? Why did she get this abscess? And where is the abscess? And so I tried to cover some of those points. And I realized that there's a couple of things I have not told you, but I've told you in the past before that Marie had some problems when she had her surgery back in 2015. And she had some side effects and some things that she did not want to talk about. And so I've left all that out. We hadn't talked about none of that. Marie does have an appointment to go back in about 10 days, and they'll do that CT scan again. And then the next day she's going to see the doctor, and he'll make a decision whether she'll keep the drainage tube longer or whether they'll take it out. And I'm just praying that everything starts healing up and getting better, because we definitely don't want her to have a surgery for that. Anytime you can get something healed without surgery, that is definitely what you're praying for. Here in Georgia, we've been having some real cold weather. And so it's been perfect for Marie. She stays back there in the den, and she's got that little fireplace heater that blows right there in front of her. And it's just been nice and cozy. She's got a big 55-inch TV, I believe, that's in front of her. So she can watch YouTube videos and watch anything she wants to watch there in her recliner chair. And she does have one of the recliners that's the electric that will raise her up. So it makes it a little bit easier for her to get up to go to the bathroom and to do things. Okay, I think that I got everything covered that I wanted to share with you. On your comments, I've been going through and giving hearts to everybody that left a comment. And when I do occasionally have a few extra minutes, I may put on there, thank you very much, or I may answer a question if you have a question. Sometimes it just takes a long time to go through all the comments and reply to every single one of them. And I've been so busy taking care of me and Marie both that I really hadn't had the time to do that. And of course, you know I hadn't had time making new videos. We wanted to get this one made. Marie and I talked about it this afternoon. And it's actually late in the evening. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening right now. And I told Marie if we could get this made and explain everything that's going on and post this video on Saturday morning, that way a lot of people would understand more about what is going on. But just as soon as I get freed up a little bit extra time, we'll start doing some more cooking videos. I have been cooking 3 meals a day, so I'm getting plenty of cooking. I'm just not recording any of it. And Marie has been enjoying the meals. And of all things, now Marie likes grits anyway. And I showed you a picture of the grits I gave her yesterday. But a couple of days ago, the first morning we was home, I made her sausage and grits and the orange juice. And when she ate those grits, I think that was probably her first breakfast at home. And she said, Calvin, she said, these are the best tasting grits I've ever had. But when you've been up to the hospital eating that food, it's easy to say everything else is best tasting, because y'all know how it is if you've been in the hospital. Okay, I guess that'll be it for this video. Like I said, we will have a Sunday chat, and we'll do the best we can on it. We have received a lot of cards from everyone, and we've received several boxes full of gifts. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, because it takes so much time to go through all the gifts and all the cards, but I'll figure out a way to do it so it won't take too long, and so we can have a good Sunday chat. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close this video out for now. Hope everyone's doing good. Y'all stay safe and stay warm in all this cold weather that we're having right now. We love each and every one of you, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate all your prayers. And like I said, I'll update you as often as I can. If I can't do a video, look on the community page, and you will see our comments there where I leave posts. And I realized one reason I want to do a video, a lot of people don't know where the community post is, and they don't know how to find it. But there'll be a lot of people that'll see this video and know more about what's going on. But anyway, y'all have a great evening. We love you, and we'll see you on our Sunday chat. Bye.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love. A few years later I have started thinking, if it's just love in every glass I'm drinking, we're like one and without you I'm sinking. I'm always shining next to you. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you.
I have always been afraid of changes, but you show me life is full of faces. Sometimes clouds got in our favorite places, but we were young and unaware.
Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night.